When I think about Africa, I think about lions, tigers, bears, giraffes. But when it comes to technology, I didn't know that there was a rapid growth in this area, which is why I've taken some time to explore the technological developments that are happening in this part of the world. Now, Africa is typically known for not much in regards to tech, but after I did a little research, I found out that there has been quite a lot taking place as it relates to development in this part of the world. A few countries that were mentioned that have experienced rapid technological advancement include the following. We have Nairobi, Cape Town, and Lagos. These three areas are said to be the three main parts of the continent where technological advancement is noticeably improving. And I will make mention of these in the slides as you will be seeing in the following video. Now, as to what is particularly driving these technological advancements in these three areas, not much can be said because the information is limited. But from what I have read and what I have seen on the internet, I can safely say that a part of the reason why there has been a rapid improvement and increase in technological access to these particular areas is because of the financial sector as well as mobile technology and as well as big businesses taking their large companies and the business operations to these areas. Those three factors are what I'd say contribute to the expansion in technological access and growth in these three areas. And it's not necessarily a case where these three areas have discovered a new form of technological advancement or technological product that they can resell to the rest of the world. So it's more of persons from outside coming in, making an investment in these three areas, and as a result, rapid expansion in technology takes place. Now, because artificial intelligence is rapidly expanding, there is need to use its capabilities for good. You may have heard that the Google, or what I should say, a high-ranking member of the Google AI development team left his position because he feared that the technology won't be used for the purposes he had intended it to be used for. And I don't think many persons paid attention to that, but I believe we should, because like all good things, if corrupted, they can be used for purposes not intended for good. So if there is an expansion in AI with regards to Africa, the same should be said about its capabilities there. Do not use it for purposes other than good. And I wholeheartedly support that idea. A few of the tech companies that are present in Africa have rapidly expanded because of their focus on mobile money. And I won't mention a few because the slides will give you an idea of what they are and what they do. But it was surprising to me when I found the information out because I never knew that Africa, particularly in these three parts of the continent, had an influence on mobile money where that is concerned. And based on what I read in the article, one of the tools that is being used, M-Pesa, has been rapidly growing in popularity because of its introduction there. And I need to read up some more on that, but I think that is very, very interesting. I cannot speak much about the healthcare state in Africa, but from what I have heard and read over the years, it hasn't been the best. I will venture to say that it's not as good as it can be, and it's probably in the same category as you probably have read about and seen on news and in videos in relation to healthcare. It's probably the same and probably comparable to the healthcare status and state in India. And that is as far as I'll say in relation to their healthcare state. As it relates to agriculture and technology, I'm going to say that the information is limited because we know and we have seen that Africa is affected a lot by changes in climate and they are plagued by a lot of floods and extreme heat temperatures. So as a result of that, they have to work with the seasons. There are times when that information comes out, I will definitely let you know what's happening in regards to agriculture. I'm going to say the same thing about education because access to it is also limited and information regarding introduction to all its introduction to all parts of the continent is also limited to some areas of the continent. Now, is there a digital divide in respect to Africa and all its countries? Yes, undoubtedly so. There is a digital divide because the advancement in technology is only limited or centralized around certain parts of the continent. Even though that is so, you still have to conclude that there is expansion there, and a little expansion is much to celebrate. However, you can't deny that much more can be done if expansion is directed to other parts of the continent. There is definitely need for robust expansion towards technological access to other parts of the continent, but I think it's going to depend wholly on who is going to do the investing and whether or not their investing will come with strings attached. Nowadays, people won't invest for charitable reasons only, or they won't give away their assets or money for charitable reasons only, especially within a continent or area that isn't known for returning much on investment. So it all comes down to those factors and that particular question. If it can be answered truthfully, and there is somebody in the world who can do it without looking for something but something else in return, then yes, you will see a steep and steady improvement in technological access across the continent. Before I go, let me make mention of someone who surprisingly is moving his craft to the continent. You may have heard the news, and you see his picture on the screen right now. We all know that the movie industry uses a great deal of tech. I'm going to venture to say almost 80 to 85% of movie production is done using technology. So that includes your laptops, computers, high definition cameras, internet, etc. So without tech, other industries wouldn't be the same. What I want to know is, with this move to come back to the continent and begin the process of doing more movies there, will we see a marked increase in tech there? That's a question I'd like to see answered soon, but the news came out a year ago. So, and lastly, I have a friend who told me that the cost of living in a particular part of Africa, which you see on the screen right now, is so high that they had to leave that country. And I wanted to explore why. Turns out that the reason why that country has a very high cost of living is because they have to do a lot of importing, and that cost is passed on to the citizens of the country. So essentially, that country doesn't do much production inside, so everything that they do has to be taken in from outside. It's very interesting. So I hope you learned something from this video. I hope to catch you on the next video, in which we'll be discussing something else tech related. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then.